Welcome back to Midnight Digital Decay. August 29th, 70 AD. As the Roman legions besieged Jerusalem, the city's walls stood firm, refusing to crumble under the relentless assault. But within the city, something far more insidious began to take hold. The stones of Jerusalem, ancient and weathered, began to weep. At first, it was a slow trickle. Dark, viscous tears seeping from the cracks in the walls. The residents, already driven to desperation by famine and war, were at first too preoccupied to notice. But as the days wore on, the weeping intensified, the stones sobbing in a low, mournful tone that echoed through the city streets. Those who touched the tears found their hands stained, the substance clinging to their skin like tar. The weeping grew louder, more sorrowful, until the entire city was engulfed in a cacophony of grief. The Romans, upon breaching the city gates, were met not by a final stand, but by a desolate, abandoned city. The inhabitants had vanished, leaving behind only the weeping stones, their tears pooling in the streets. When the Romans attempted to enter the temple, they found it sealed, the doors fused shut by the same dark substance. No force could open them, and the legion, shaken by the eerie silence and the pervasive sense of mourning, withdrew, leaving Jerusalem to its endless weeping. August 29th, 1350 AD. In a small village in northern Italy, the plague known as the Black Death had already claimed most of the population. On this day, as the sun set, the few remaining villagers gathered in the church, hoping for solace in prayer. But as night fell, a strange music began to play. Soft at first, barely audible, but growing louder with each passing minute. The music was unlike anything they had ever heard. A haunting melody that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. The villagers felt an uncontrollable urge to move, to dance. They tried to resist, but their bodies betrayed them, and soon the entire congregation was dancing, their movements frenzied and wild. The music grew faster, more discordant, and the dancers began to laugh. A high, unnatural sound that echoed through the empty streets. They danced through the night, their bodies twisting and contorting in unnatural ways, their laughter turning to screams as the sun began to rise. By morning, the village was silent. The church was empty, save for the tattered remains of the villagers' clothes strewn across the floor. No bodies were ever found, and the village was soon abandoned, its name erased from all maps. The Dance of the Black Death, a dark legend whispered in the shadows. August 29th, 1883 AD. The volcano Krakatoa erupted with a force that should have shattered the world. The sky turned black, and the air was filled with ash and fire. But instead of the expected explosion, there was silence. A deep, profound silence that blanketed the earth like a shroud. The people in the surrounding areas, expecting to be consumed by the cataclysm, found themselves frozen in place, unable to hear, unable to move. The sea withdrew, not in a roaring wave, but in a slow, deliberate manner, as if the ocean itself was holding its breath. When it returned, it brought with it not destruction, but a strange, shimmering mist that spread across the land, turning everything it touched to stone. The once lush islands around Krakatoa became barren, lifeless sculptures, their inhabitants preserved in eerie stillness. Ships that had been sailing nearby were found encased in crystal, their crews frozen at their posts, eyes wide with terror. For years, the region remained silent, a dead zone where no sound could penetrate, and those who ventured too close were lost, swallowed by the unnatural quiet. Krakatoa became a forbidden place, a monument to a disaster that defied the very laws of nature. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more of this content. It lets me know people enjoy it and motivates me to continue to create it for you all. If you haven't already, check out my link tree in the description for more esoterica.